Hi, let us do another demo to understand the session better. I'm going to create a small to-do list using the session. So I'm going to have a JSP. The JSP will have a form to get the to-do, and the submit button will submit the request to the same JSP. So the submit will get submitted to the same JSP. Now I will be having an array list within the session object. So whatever the to-do item the user is entering, I will keep on adding it into the to-do list. I'm not going to have additional features like removing an item or clearing the array list. This will keep on adding the items that I am adding into the to-do list, and I am not going to do any validation. This is a very simple demo to understand how to read the attribute from the session object and how to set it back after modifying it. So let me go ahead and create the JSP. Let me name the JSP as session underscore test2.jsp. Let me rename the title session test2, and I am going to have a form which will submit the servlet to the same JSP. Now within the form I am going to have an input text element as well as a submit button. So I do have the input text element, and that's going to have the name as single item and a submit button. Now I will have a scriptlet to get the attribute from the session as well as to change the attribute within the session. I'm going to get the attributes from the session, and name of the attribute I'm going to have it as session to-do list. Let me import the util package so that the list will get imported. So I'm adding a page import attribute to import the util package. Here I am getting the attribute session to-do list. If it is available, I will be getting it, and that will get typecasted into list of strings, and it will get stored in a variable called items. I will go ahead and check whether it is equal to null. If it is null, that means the particular attribute is not available. I will go ahead and create a new array list of string and add it into the session using the method set attribute. And name of the attribute I'll keep it as session to do list, and the items array I will be setting it within the session attribute. If it is not equal to null, I will be adding the element submitted by the user by using the get parameter. I will get the single item, that is the one that is getting submitted from the text box, and I will store it within the string the element, and the element should get added into the array list. So if the item is not equal to null, I will add the item into the items. So what will happen? The array will get changed, and the session object will get reflected automatically because the reference to that particular array list would have got added into the session, and once if I add a new item, automatically the object will also get reflected within the session object. Now I need to print this specific list of items in the screen, so I am going to have an iteration to go over the items array list and print them. Let me go ahead and iterate over the array list. For that I am going to have small scriptlet. So within the scriptlet, I will be iterating through these items, and I am going to print each and every item in a new line. So what I have done, I am having a form, and the form I am submitting the text element, and that particular element is getting added into the array list. And before adding the element into the array list, the array is received from the session using the get attribute. Now let me go ahead and execute this specific JSP. So I'm going to add an item, the name 1. So it will get added. Now I'm going to add another item, the name 2. So that will get added. Here this is a very simple to-do list. We are not doing any validation for duplicates or no item available. Those validations we will be doing it in the future session. So as a part of this lecture, we had seen how to read the attribute from the session as well as how to set the attribute into the session. Also how to change the array list when the array list is available as a part of the session. The important thing to remember, whenever I am having an object like array list, it's going to store only the reference and not the entire object. So any change I'm making to that specific array list, automatically it will get reflected in the session. I don't need to set it once again after changing the array list. As I have received that specific reference from the session, automatically it would get reflected.